Joey here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about my first trip with ayahuasca. If you guys didn't catch the previous video, I'm introducing ayahuasca and why I decided to come to Rythmia to partake in ayahuasca ceremonies. That will be linked below, and I feel like it's a great lead-in, so be sure to check that one out before you check out this one. And if you already checked that out and you're looking forward to this one, be excited because it is exciting. And so, let's get started. Alright you guys, so my first journey with ayahuasca. This was on Monday night at Rythmia and I arrived on Sunday. And when I arrived, I was already just ready to do ayahuasca. I didn't know which days we were going to have the ceremonies until I arrived and I got the schedule. But I was like, let's just do it tonight. Like, I just wanted to get into it. I was excited about it. And so I found out then that, no, we're doing ayahuasca the next night. So I had a night to prepare, which was good because here at Rythmia, they have these seminars that really like introduce you and educate you on the medicine, on the shamans, like what to expect. Because I mean, I've never been on a drug trip before. So like, I needed to know what the hallucinogenics or visions and stuff, like what was gonna present itself and like that it was normal. So I ended up doing the medicine on Monday night. It was the first night here, and there's this big room called the Maloka, which is the sacred space in which that you partake in the ayahuasca ceremonies, and it was very comfortable. We each had a VIP mattress. We had a bucket if we were to like vomit or be sick, and we had like toilet paper if we need to wipe our face or wipe our mouth at any point, and there was like a pillow and a blanket on the bed. It was very comfortable setup, and at the front of the Maloka, the room was where the shaman were to sit. And so the shaman of this first night were actually two beautiful women, and they were from Germany, and they have both done plant medicine all over the world and have been shaman for a very long time, and just they had such a presence about them. Like, I just immediately trusted them, because going into something like this, you can be nervous, you can be scared. Of course I was a little bit nervous, but more excited. I just immediately trusted them because of their energy. They both looked like angels. Like, they truly looked like angels. They just had this glow about them. And so I trusted immediately, like entering that space, immediately entering Rythmia. I just felt trust because this place is just beautiful. It's beautiful. And like, to be in the jungle, like, it's just incredible. Like, I've never been to Central or South America previous to this, and I can't wait to come back because it just has such a beautiful feeling to it, like a reborn, like back to nature type of feeling. So the shaman had us all come together at the front after we chose our bed and put down our little bag, and they explained to us more about the plant medicine, what we can expect from it, and what we should set our intentions as, like make sure that we're asking Mother Ayahuasca from our heart what we would like this plant medicine to give us, which spiritual awakenings we would like to have, which blocks we would like to break through. And so I had set my intention the first night as show me who I've become. And this is one that Rythmia recommends because this is how the medicine can show you the type of person that you've become in your life, and in that way you can face this feeling of not being good enough for living the life that you truly deserve and that what you came here to do. So I said, you know what, show me who I've become, and I drank the medicine. So it was served to me in like a shot glass, like this, and it's brown in color. It's thick. It's like not a tea, it's like thicker than that. It's like a brew. It didn't taste very good, but it wasn't like I was gonna vomit because it tasted bad. It just tasted like a really like herbal, I don't know. It kind of looked like that mushroom coffee stuff people are drinking, and it was like thick, like I don't know, you know when you get the hot chocolate that's like real hot chocolate that's like melted dark chocolate and it's thick? It was like that consistency, but it didn't taste like it. It tasted like licorice and things like this. And so I took the tea, I went back and I lied on my mattress, and I was like, hey, like, let's do this. And I think that I had fallen into like a little bit of a trance. They had beautiful music playing the whole time, and there's live music as well. And typically the ayahuasca takes about half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe up to an hour to kick in, for you to start to feel it. And so I felt the medicine come into my body, and as they were playing live music, it's the craziest thing, and you won't know until you actually experience it, but the music calls to Mother Ayahuasca. I'm referring to Mother Ayahuasca as the energy, the divine feminine that you feel enter your body. So ayahuasca, it's so hard to explain, but like I said, I'm going to do my best, and if you didn't watch the previous video, I recommend that first. But when you ingest this medicine, it gives you access to universal consciousness, the divine feminine, the energy of which the world goes round. And so I'm referring to her as Mother Ayahuasca because to me it felt like a mother vibe. Like she was here to take care of me, she was here to show me, she was here to help me. And I felt that upon her entering my body. So I'm lying there on my mattress, and my body starts to convulse like this, like like shaking, and like it was crazy. Like literally, like I had no control over my limbs, and I was just going like this. I was just flailing everywhere. And some of you might be like, that sounds absolutely terrifying. But I was like giggling the whole time because I'm like, this is like so fun. Like, what am I doing? Like, I had gone back to being a child. It felt like I was like a child. And so when this was happening to me, like this convulsing, I just burst out laughing. Like other people are vomiting in their buckets. Like you start to feel, people start to feel the effects because some people are crying, some people are like moaning and like awing and yawning, and some people are, like I said, retching in their buckets. And I'm sitting there like laughing, like hysterically laughing from my belly. Like I was just in a way purging, but just like giggling, laughing. Like I just was hysterically laughing. And then the shaman were playing their music, and I got up and I started dancing. Like meanwhile, other people are like passed out, like puking in their butt. Like I'm just like having a party, okay? Like having a grand time on this ayahuasca drink. And so then the shaman called for anyone who felt like they wanted to have a second drink. And if you have the ability to stand up and walk over to get yourself a second drink, do it, because Mother Ayahuasca, she wants to help you. So I went up and I literally danced my way up there. I'm like in line to get my next drink, and I'm like moving my hips. I'm like, yeah. Like people are like getting sick, and I'm like, I'm so happy that I'm having a really great time on this medicine. So I take another drink, and I said the same thing, like, show me who I've become. Because I didn't have any visions. I was just like, you know, dancing through life. And so, sorry, you guys are probably like, I hope that you're enjoying this. And so I take the other drink and I go back down and lie on my mattress, and I'm convulsing still a little bit like this, and I feel this voice inside of me, like Mother Ayahuasca, she says, let me in, and she's like shaking, and visually I saw her like shaking my body, and she's like, let me in. And I was just a child. Like I was like, no, we're playing a game, you're not allowed in yet, you're not allowed in. And it was like really fun. But the way that my brain was thinking while I was on ayahuasca was like, I was like 5 or 6. Like she was like, let me in, and I was like, no. And I was like flirting with her, playing with her. And finally I just kind of like gave in, and I was like, okay, fine. And immediately I was in my head. Like I had visions, and I was lying in my bed, and I see colors and flowers, and like it was like a kaleidoscope, like psychedelics. Like this is what it was. It was like I was in this light show, because the live music and the music was still happening around me, and these beautiful colors were dancing in my mind. I mean, it was like Fantasia. Like it was a really good show. So as a child, as I said, I was watching this through like a 5-year-old's brain. I was like laughing and enjoying everything so much. Like I was like, oh, this is a great show. Great show, Mother. Thank you. And then Then I started to go deeper into the colors, and I found myself in another dimension. I was then shown curtains of like different dimensions that I could enter into, and it was so beautiful. Like, I saw light. I had completely left my body at this point. Like, my life was something that I like did not I didn't know what I didn't know what a human was. Like, none of that mattered. Time, space, nothing. Like, I was literally in the cosmos, and it was incredible and beautiful, and I was just a soul, and I was like flying around, and I could see anything I wanted to see, and it was like I didn't want to return back to my body because I felt so divine in this time of like flying around and seeing the beauty of this world in different dimensions. And then I remember what Jerry, the founder of Rythmia, had told us prior to our first ayahuasca session. Is he said, go back inside of your body and find what feels uncomfortable, what hurts, what feels uncomfortable to you, and in that way you'll allow for healing. So as much as I was having fun flying around like in these dimensions, somehow Jerry's voice came back to me, and I believe that it was like Mother Ayahuasca's voice. So she said, return to your body and find the places of discomfort. In the discomfort, there's growth. So I, being 5 and having fun flying around in outer space, was like, okay, I guess I'll come back. And so I went back into my body, and somewhere what I visualized as like my stomach, I found a box. Like everything was like a Pixar show inside of my body. Like, it wasn't like a cardboard box. Like, this was like something out of like Super Mario, like a box. And so I found this box, and I was like, what do I do with it now, Mother? And she said, break it. And I broke the box, and immediately I purged into my bucket. So when you're on these drugs, one thing you guys should know is like, they can be purgatory. Like, you might puke, but it's not, because I am terrified of puking, like throwing up. But what happened was like, it literally wasn't like sweating and gross and scared I'm gonna puke. It literally just like was something bad that ejected itself from my body. And so I just vomited into my bucket, and it was gross, yeah, but like, because I was on the medicine, like something in my body understood that this was a release. This was a release that you were having. It wasn't getting sick, it was getting well. I was purging something that just no longer served me. And when I purged into the bucket, I heard my voice, my like 5-year-old voice, and it said, no, as I go through this journey with you guys through all the different sessions, I'm gonna share only what I felt comfortable sharing, because a lot of stuff was very personal. And basically what happened was, I heard my voice say like, no more, Mommy, because I don't have a relationship with my mother. I've shared that with you guys. I don't think I'll ever like go into details about it, but she hasn't been in my life for a very long time, and I haven't spoken to her in about 10 years. And when I purged into the bucket, I released all these feelings of that I wasn't good enough or wasn't worthy enough, because my mother never showed me the love that I deserved as a child and through my life. She didn't want to be part of my life, and it makes sense later on. But I got rid of that. I got rid of any type of like deep set toxicity I had in regards to my relationship with myself, because of not having a mother's like unconditional love. And when I released that into the bucket, I felt so much better. And what I was releasing was, like I said, this self-worth. And after that, I went back into my body, and I felt like I found another box, and I was too scared to open it because I was like 5 again, and I was like, I just want to play again. And what happened was, Mother Ayahuasca showed me that the reason why I was dancing on this medicine, the reason why I was like playing with her in my mind, and I got shown all these like colors and I got to fly around in outer space, she was showing me that through my life I had missed out because I didn't have my mother's unconditional love in my life when I was growing up, because I didn't have like this mother figure. I had to grow up very fast. I'm not going to go into details about that, but at a very young age I had to play adult. I had to parent myself. I had to take care of myself when I wasn't at my dad's house, when I was under my mom's care. Like, I had to cook myself dinner when I was like, you know, 8. Like, I had to do things that a child shouldn't have to do that young. And so Mother Ayahuasca, she wanted me to play. She wanted me to make up for lost time. And I feel like in that night I was able to be the child that I was never able to be. And I got to mend that part of my life that, like, I personally thought that I had come to terms with. I thought that I had, you know, I thought that I had really like forgiven my past, forgiven my mom, and like dealt with my shit, let's say. Like, I went to therapy. Like, I thought that I was fine, but this healed me. It was like, yeah, you're fine, but like, let's replace this lost time. Like, let's make up for it right now. Let's give you the love that you deserve, the playtime that you deserve, the years that you missed out on because you were adulting way too soon. And so, yeah, it was completely transformational for me. After that, I saw myself as a baby, like I wasn't a fetus, but I was like just born, like just a very delicate baby, and I was wrapped in a blanket, and I just visualized myself as this baby, and that's how I spent the rest of the night, was a baby. And I suppose that this was like a rebirth for me, and I just sent this baby like so much love, and it was so special because I just witnessed myself as a baby, and I was able to give myself the love that I needed that maybe I didn't get when I was just born. And it was truly so beautiful. And the next day we had a reflection, like a reflection group, which is very amazing because all this stuff happens to you and all this stuff happens to other people, and you need to share because it helps you to better understand yourself. And a gentleman came up to me and he said, I saw you last night. He said, you were sitting up in your bed, and he's like, I have like a gift where I can see auras and I can see things. And he said, you were sitting there with like a little girl and you were holding on to her. And he said, I walked by and you just grabbed her, like you wanted her, like you were playing with her. And I thought that that was extremely beautiful because in a way that he was validating what I was going through in a way that, you know, no one else would understand unless they were me. But he said that he saw me with a little girl and I was holding her all night, and it's just very special to me because I feel like I healed myself. I healed myself through this medicine because I had the ability to see myself for who I really am. I got to see who I had become, and it was just a beautiful experience. So yeah, that's the story. I'm sure some of you are probably sitting there being like, what? But I don't really care what anyone thinks about this experience because it healed me in ways that I need to be healed. And I owe so much to Rythmia and ayahuasca for just helping me transform my life and helping me heal in ways that I didn't know that I needed to heal. And yeah, I'm excited to share the other journeys with you guys because they were all transformational in their own ways. But yeah, I hope that maybe this helped you along your journey, or maybe helped you to get to know me better. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. And for those of you who maybe watched this whole thing and you're probably thinking I'm nuts, it's okay. Just, you know, choose to spread kindness. And if you have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all. But yeah, I hope you have an amazing day. And tomorrow I'll be sharing my next journey with you.